I'm gonna review the comments from the people who actually activated the arc passive on the Glaivier, like both Pinnacle and Control. And among the people, there's someone who made an invent post called Jack Sparrow. He made a review of using the arc passive, and let me translate what he says. So first one is Pinnacle. The Pinnacle gets a new skill, the X skill, right? Which amplifies the damage of the next skill by consuming 1 meter bar. You know, Glaivier has 3 meter bar, right? So this is another pre-buff skill. You know that Glaivier already have a pre-buff skill that's called Shackling Blue Dragon, right? And also Glaivier has a delay on swapping the stances, right? And they added another pre-buff skill, which doesn't sound good. Let's see what he says. The X does have animations. It's not a big delay, but it does affect the speed of the deepest rotation. X does not have push nor paralysis immunity, so it can get cancelled from any patterns. X can be used on both stances, but you can't use X before swapping because if you swap, the buff disappears. So you wanna swap and then press the X. And the next one, you can't use Final Decision Tripod on Half Moon. It's the tripod that increases a lot of damage by consuming a 1 meter. You can't use that because it consumes the meter that X skill needs. So you have to change the Final Decision to a Vital Pointed Tripod, which increases crit rate. By doing that, the problem is it does less damage, way less damage. Vital Pointed Half Moon is even weaker than additional slash Raging Dragon slash. Therefore, you want to use X on the Raging Dragon for a blue stance. But to have higher buff efficiency, you want the Raging Dragon to do more damage. To do that, you have to go for a precise slash over the additional slash. So you run this one, which has like huge delay over this. Spam double OM, guys. And by that, what happens is that additional slash has higher stagger than the precise slash. So you actually get weaker stagger than now. Pinnacle Glaivier's stagger is already one of the weakest, is weak. But her stagger is getting weaker than now. And this goes same for the red stance, by the way. If you want to use the X skill on the red as well, then you need a meter, right? You need an identity meter. To do that, you want to start the rotation with Starfall, not Red Dragonhorn. And Starfall, you want to use the Firepower Control Tripod. So that is this one. You want to use this over the stagger tripod. Guess what's going on by doing that? The stagger of this skill is also getting weakened. Spam triple OM, guys. 2 of the skills, stagger is becoming weaker. So the rotation becomes Shackling Blue, that's a pre-buff skill, pre-buff number 1. And then Stand Swap, another delay. And then Starfall to get the meter, right? And then X consume the meter to Red Dragon, so that the X benefits the Red Dragon, right? And then Thrust Forehead, and then Swap again, delay, right? Half Moon, which is very weak now. And then X, delay, another pre-buff. And then Precise slash Raging Dragon, which takes forever. And then you repeat that, like pre-buff number 1, swap pre-buff number 2. That is what's going on. So he's thought, even if you use the X on the precise slash Raging Dragon on blue stance, it doesn't gain that much damage compared to Season 2, where you use Final Decision Half Moon. Number 2, precise slash Raging Dragon is so stressful to use on real raid because it takes forever, right, to cast that. Number 3, X skill having animation also was stressful in the real raid. There were a lot of moments where the boss turns and miss back attack because of the animation, guys. 4, they should make X skill like Asura's X, which does not have animation, so that we can press X during the Red Dragon. That would be sick, right? Yeah, that's the minimum requirement I think Pinnacle Glaivier need now. It's the minimum. 5, the X applied Red Dragon's damage is not that rewarding considering all these long casts and pre-buffs. And the last one, small Kate, please save Pinnacle. Yep, there you go, guys. There you go. So that's for the Pinnacle. And Control, generally it's good, he says. Obviously better than Pinnacle's arc passive. Okay? The new X skill that Control have does solid damage and recovers mana as well. So it has high potential for spammy classes like Control. One thing that smokes is that X skill doesn't have push immunity, even though it's an identity skill. So that's the overall translation of the Captain Jack's post. Do you like it? Yes, I like it. The flow looks good. Anyways, shout out to Captain Jack once again. Shout out to myself for translation. And shout out to you people, West people, for watching this video. Stay Giga Chat. Spam noted, guys.